The reason why they released me is because indirectly, I was gonna be a distraction.
Without being the starter.
Without being a starter.
Yeah.
And this was
but
not
how? Verbally or in the locker room?
Just my aura.
Okay.
Just my aura. And that's just, and I told you this off camera. That's my gift and my curse.
Yeah.
When you bring a Cam Newton to your facility, when you bring a Cam Newton to your franchise, people are interested by mere fact
they
of
are intrigued.
Who is he?
Yeah.
Why does he wear his hair?
Yeah.
Why does he talk? Why does he act? Why does he perform? Why does all these questions?
As you can see, I'm a diehard Bears fan, so it's always gonna be Green Bay Packers. But I'm not gonna talk about that in this video. In this video, I'm going to discuss the Cam Newton situation of him being released from the New England Patriots. Cam Newton did a 45-minute interview with his dad in which he discussed a number of things. But mainly, the basis of the video was Cam talking about how the New England Patriots released him and how part of his mystique or his allure of who he is as a player may have caused the team to just really get rid of him. Now, Cam Newton came to the league in 2011 as the #1 pick from Auburn, in which he won the national championship with the Auburn Titans. He gets drafted #1. He was picked by the Carolina Panthers. I believe in 2011, he won Offensive Rookie of the Year. And by 2016, he led the Carolina Panthers to a 15-1 record en route to their second Super Bowl. Cam Newton won NFL MVP. You know, he was dabbing on him. You know, he was Superman on him. You know, he was clowning on him and all that, and deservedly so.
And Avery Williamson.
Now, I truly believe that this is where the downfall of Cam Newton really started. And if you can recall, during that entire 2016 season, most of us melanated people, we were giving Cam his props. You know, he dabbing on him, and you know, and he's leading the team, dominating and all that. Many people outside of us were heavily criticizing Cam because of his brashness, his attitude, and his extreme confidence. All of those character traits, I personally don't have a problem with. But Cam was interviewed before the Super Bowl by James Brown of CBS, and he was asked a question about race, and Cam gave this half-assed and really delusional answer about race. Something to the extent of 1/16th of a person or whatnot. Show that clip.
I don't even want to touch on the topic of black quarterback because I think this game is bigger than black, white, or even green. So I think we limit ourselves when we just label ourselves just black, this, that, and the third. I wanted to bring awareness because of that. But yeah, I don't think I should be labeled just a black quarterback because it's bigger things in the sport that needs to be accomplished.
Now, after Cam gives this very subtle answer to a basic question, he goes out and plays like complete ass during the Super Bowl. Laid an egg so bad that on this one play, he fumbles the ball, and instead of trying to dive for it, he does something that on a Pop Warner level, they teach you not to never do. Show that clip.
Here he comes, number 58, Von Miller against Mike Rivers one more time. Cam Newton didn't feel it, didn't step up. The football just taken out of his hand. Cam Newton decides not to dive in there. And
he backed away from it. He jumped away instead of jumping into the pile.
Yep, I guess he made a decision it wasn't worth to go in there and get it.
So the Panthers lose 24-10, and Cam is visibly upset. Now he has to go in front of the media and talk about how he basically laid an egg in Super Bowl 50. And instead of candidly answering the questions the way that most quarterbacks do, even during a loss, Cam does something that he gets villainized for in the media. In the media for the next season, basically label Cam as a person. He's all smiles when he wins, but he acts like a spoiled brat whenever he loses.
Just because of momentum.
We'll be back.
Ron said Denver 2 years ago had a tough time. They bounced back. Did you take that to heart when he told you after the game?
No.
Can you put a finger on why Carolina did not play the way it normally plays? Is there a reason why?
Brandon McManus at
Super Bowl 50 of the 2016 season, Cam Newton's career has been on a downward spiral. Cam, I think the next 3 years on the Panthers, he just could not stay healthy. He was always injured. I believe one season he played, I want to say it was 2018, where he basically played on an injured shoulder the majority of the year. And you could tell right then and there that Cam Newton lost his ferocity. He could not really throw the ball downfield. That arm strength was basically gone. And by the end of that year, Carolina had to shut him down. He comes back 2019, tries to give it one last run, and it's obvious that Cam isn't the #1 guy on the Carolina Panthers anymore. So Carolina releases him. They release him, and you would think that Cam in his position, after all, he multiple Pro Bowls, NFL MVP, Offensive Rookie of the Year. You know, he was at that time one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Me personally, I would have put him on the top B tier of quarterback. You would think that he would easily get a phone call or a chance to play for another team. Didn't really happen, not right away anyway. So now, Cam gets an opportunity to try out and eventually play for the New England Patriots. Now, during this time, the New England Patriots, lots of people assumed that their dynasty was over. During that time, many people thought that the Patriots dynasty was over, because after they won the 2018 Super Bowl against the Rams, they come back the next season, have an up and down season. There's a lot of controversy surrounding Tom Brady's future and whether or not Bob Kraft is going to choose between him and Bill Belichick. And Bill Belichick was supposedly angry at the Patriots organization because they made Bill Belichick trade and get rid of Jimmy Garoppolo, which they eventually traded him to the 49ers. And they kept Tom Brady, but there was so much friction between Belichick and Brady that New England ended up losing, I believe, in the wild card of that postseason, 2019 to be exact. Tom Brady says that he's no longer coming back, so he's a free agent. He eventually signs to Tampa Bay, and we all know what happened to the Buccaneers last year. They ended up beating Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl. So now Tom Brady has his 7th ring. And the Patriots, because of the loss of their iconic and legendary quarterback, they signed Cam Newton. And let's be honest, if you thought that Cam Newton was going to immediately come in and replace Tom Brady and that legendary stature, I got a bridge in Idaho to sell you, homie. And you can tell the explosiveness is no longer there. His arm strength is no longer there. Cam cannot read defenses like he once did. So now his interceptions goes up and his touchdowns goes down. And just like I stated earlier, the Patriots ended up missing playoffs for the first time in over 11 years. So now the 2021 NFL draft comes around, and the Patriots with the 15th pick select Mac Jones, whom they deem as going to be their ultimate successor to Cam Newton. So now Cam Newton has a target on his back. Now he has to go and compete for the starting job, as opposed to automatically knowing that he's going to have the starting job entering the 2021 season. So postseason comes around, and Cam Newton, he's not playing totally bad, but he's not playing impressively good neither. And so the Patriots, they decide to get rid of Cam Newton by cutting and releasing him. And they chose Mac Jones over him. So now Cam Newton does this interview with his father, and he's explaining the situation as to his presence made the Patriots uncomfortable, and that Mac Jones would have had to look over his shoulder simply because it would be totally unfair for him to have to play in the role of having to constantly worry about whether or not he'll be the starter week after week, because Cam Newton will be the second string, and with his stature already in the NFL, it would have made Mac Jones feel totally out of place.
If they would have asked me, would I play behind? They said, Cam, we're gonna give the team to Mac.
Okay.
You're gonna be the second string. We expect you to be everything and some to guide him throughout this tenure.
Okay.
Oh, this absolutely, yeah.
Cam.
But listen,
Cam.
listen. The truth of the matter is this: he would have been uncomfortable.
With you looking over his shoulder?
Yeah.
You felt like that?
Yeah, he would have. And they knew because you have to understand.
You are intimidating presence. Now.
That is true.
I'm looking at Cam and say I don't believe that at all. Does Cam have a very charming personality? Without a shadow of a doubt. Is Cam a very colorful personality with the wild hair and the outrageous outfits he wears? Yeah. But for an old school legendary head coach and Bill Belichick, none of that personality shit don't matter. It's all about you learning your X's and O's and whether or not you can do the job. Cam Newton can get mad and he can make up all of these other scenarios about the Patriots all he wants. But when you have a legendary coach of Bill Belichick, who when he retires, he will easily be recognized as one of the 5 greatest head coaches ever in NFL history. A coach who has won more Super Bowl rings than any other head coach in NFL history. We're talking about a coach who's been coaching the Patriots since 2000. So this is now his, 22nd season coaching that team. The man has won, 13, 14 division titles. He has been to, about 11 or 12 AFC championship games. He's been to the Super Bowl 9 times and won 6 of them. I'm the owner of the New England Patriots, which in this case is Robert Kraft. Who you think which judgment I'm going to believe more of? Bill Belichick, who has proven to me over the past 2 decades he knows what he's doing, or Cam Newton, who was once a great superstar, but now it is obviously evident that his skills are morbidly declining. I'm going to choose the former. Cam Newton has not improved as a quarterback. He's now in his 30s. I think he's 32, 33. He's not as mobile as he once was. His arm strength has declined. I don't know if he reads X's and O's, the way that most of these new quarterbacks do. Cam Newton is not a Patrick Mahomes. He does not have that elusiveness as a Lamar Jackson. Cam Newton is a product of what these quarterbacks now are. True that. However, I think his attitude comes off as someone who needs the spotlight more on them, and everything is more about him rather than team. And when you have an individual mindset in a game such as football, and when you think all eyes should be on you as opposed to having your entire focus dedicated to the team's success, it's going to rub every other team in the league the wrong way. In conclusion, I'm just stating the obvious. I'm not trying to blast Cam Newton. I'm not trying to be negative about him, even though I am somewhat critical of him, because I believe that Cam Newton had the true necessary gifts of becoming a legendary quarterback. I don't believe that he's Hall of Fame potential. I don't think he's proven enough to give himself a very serious case for the Hall of Fame. I do believe after the 2016 Super Bowl, Cam Newton's skills and his value in the league went downhill from there. But I still believe that he still has some football left. But also, Cam Newton has to realize the NFL is business. And you still have these conservative-minded owners who will not hesitate to keep you away from signing you simply because you're now undermining the top dogs of the league. Believe it or not, the Patriots hold a lot of clout in the NFL. Bill Belichick has a lot of chips. And if he gets rid of them, trust and believe every other team in the NFL is looking at that and they are possibly evaluating you or concluding that you're the problem. So I think Cam may need to have a little bit of humbleness to him. I'm not saying get rid of your confidence. No, remain confident. That's one aspect of Cam Newton that I love about him. But I believe sometimes his confidence and his over-the-top antics do rub people the wrong way. And one final thing with that, if Cam was winning, if he was doing things on a Tom Brady or a Patrick Mahomes level, everything that Cam said in that interview would have been null and void. Why? He's producing on the field. He's winning. I don't give a damn what he say, because the owners ain't gonna care neither. I think Cam just need to go back to the drawing board, see what he did right, see what he did wrong, work on his game, and be ready for when that next team calls him. Because this is not the end of Cam Newton, but that window is closing. And I just hope he's smart enough to actually realize that ain't that many teams that gonna take a chance on him moving forward. Hope y'all got something out of this video. And to Cam Newton, I wish him the very best. Ain't gonna hate on the brother, but I do have to be somewhat critical of him because his play over the last 5 years has not produced the type of results that he would have liked to have. And the world has moved on, but we ain't dabbing on him no more. Peace, love. May God bless each and every last one of you. 100.
And looking to throw on first down. Stepping up and firing, and there's that howitzer arm on 2nd and long. And again, good time in a pocket to step up into, and he delivers it right on the money. First and 10 for the 32, and Newton looking to fire again, and does for